Everybody, it's Michael from GetFitOver40.com with a bit of an update video. I wanted to talk a little bit about how my every body part every day, basically 5 days a week, I train every body part every day, okay? And I've talked about this in other videos. I'm basically into my 4th week now, so I just wanted to follow up with how it's going. Is it working? Keep in mind, I used to train 6 days a week, so I've actually dropped it down a little bit to 5 days a week. And I'm finding that, yeah, it's pretty tough. On that 6th day, if I were to have to train on the 6th day, it would be pretty tough because by day 5, I'm pretty tired, and having 2 days off seems to be awesome. It seems to be just the right amount of time off to enable me to get back into a 1 through 5 days, hitting everything again. So I will be doing a little bit of training here in my home gym right at the end of the conclusion of me talking about it. And I'm just gonna go through some of the stuff that I would do here at home using the equipment I have at home. Now, keep in mind at home, I wouldn't do things like squats or deadlifts so much because I like to use racks for that, proper equipment, you know. It's a little tough with the Smith machine. I don't like personally using the Smith machine if I don't have to. A little harder to do deadlifts. I could do straight leg dumbbell deadlifts, but I like to, try to do the heavier compound stuff in the gym when I can. So at home, I'm gonna be doing leg extensions, leg curls, those types of things. I'll be doing a lot more cable work because this is more of a cable system. Whereas in the gym, I'd probably do a little bit more dumbbell or maybe barbell work, okay? So just keep that in mind. This isn't the only stuff that I would do. I really like to mix it up. So every day is something slightly different for that muscle group. So give you an example, if it were legs, on Monday, I would do squats, right? And I'd probably do a box squat and go pretty heavy. I believe I went up to 275 for my last set of 15. It got pretty hard. Been trying to progressively overload it. It's been going good. The next day, I might do like extensions and curls. And then the next day, I might do deadlift, right? And then the next day, I might again do extensions and curls. And then on day 5, I would do some sort of leg press or something like that. So trying to hit the whole upper leg pretty much every day of the week. Now with calves, I'm hitting them 3 days a week. I'm always walking around. I'm walking around on my calves all the time. My calves aren't a weak muscle group for me, so I'm hitting them 3 days a week. So I hit them Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I try to hit arms Tuesday and Wednesday, because again, arms aren't a weak area for me, and you're hitting arms like all the time when you're doing push-pull exercises, pressing, or some sort of pull, you're always hitting your arms. So they're really getting a workout every day anyways, okay? So, and I find that if I'm doing too much arm work, I get a little sore, especially right in here, okay? So trying to tame that down a little bit so they don't have any injuries or flare-ups. So how's it going? It's been going good. I mean, like I said, by the end of the week, I'm feeling it. I definitely need those 2 days off. A 6th day for me might be too much doing this style of workout. My workouts have been a good hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes long each. So they are long. They do take a little while because I am basically making sure that every time, so that one exercise that I do for that body part, I'm hitting it really hard. I'm making sure that I'm kind of killing it, right? And so I'll do a good 5, sometimes 6 sets for each muscle group and really go to failure, okay? And even then sometimes drop setting or whatever it takes to really hit those muscle groups. So it's tiring. By the time I get to my last body part, I try to save stuff that's a little bit easier for the end, get the hard stuff done at the beginning. But by the time I get to the end of the workout, I'm really tired. I'm ready to go home, okay? Some of the things I've noticed is, a little bit of joint pain in here, but it's not excessive. And it's more towards the end of the week. I'm starting to feel it. And it's not impeding me from training. I just notice it a bit. And I'm hoping that over time, it gets used to it, because it's not flaring up past that point where it gets really bad. It's just sort of at the initial stages where I just got to watch it. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. That is a problem that I personally have. It's not just this style of workout. It's happened to me in all kinds of training that I do. I do get flare-ups here. That's just something that happens to me. Everyone has their own thing. I do feel like I have more of a muscle pump all the time. My muscles feel really like hard all the time, especially like I've noticed my legs because I'm training them so much. They've always got like just a real firm feel to them. And I feel that same thing throughout my whole body. I feel like all my muscle groups have a firmness to them, have a real full feeling to them because they're getting hit so often. Am I getting stronger? It's only been, 3.5 weeks. So it's hard to say. It's going to take probably a good couple months before I really know if this is helping me. But, and that said, because when you train in a different format, you really don't know how that's going to affect that workout or that, that set of stuff. Because if you normally do it in a certain order, you know what to expect when you get to that one workout or that exercise. You know what to expect in terms of how many reps and sets and weight and all that kind of stuff. If you change the order up and hit everything a little different, you may be stronger or weaker when you do that exercise, depending on what you did before it and even what you did the day before, right? So the fact that I'm hitting everything every day means that muscle's already sort of fatigued from the day before. Am I gonna get the best, sets and reps that I ever get? Probably not. I'm probably gonna be at a little bit of a reduced amount, right? And same with depending on what I hit before that. If I do like shoulders and back and then I try to hit chest, I'm going to be a little tired, right? I mean, even shoulders will impede on your chest abilities, right? And if I did pressing in my overhead press, if I did some sort of overhead press, then I try to do a bench press, I'm going to be weaker on my bench press because I've already tired out my triceps. So you have to keep all of these things in mind when you look at the numbers. Now, that said, I feel like I am getting a little bit stronger because now we're on the fourth week, and I'm kind of doing similar things in similar orders, and I'm starting to see a little bit higher numbers. It's little tiny incremental small improvements that make the difference. It's not those, I don't expect big jumps, not at this stage of the game. I'm going up and down a few pounds. I've pretty much plateaued. The only way to really get much bigger or to see a huge improvements is to radically change what I'm doing, or obviously use other vitamins that you can't normally get from your local Popeyes, right? So that's the only way to really change up how strong I'm going to be, or how much size I'm going to gain in a drastic way. Other than that, I can only really expect small incremental improvements. And even then, sometimes you're just going to plateau. You're only going to get to a certain point. If you back off your training, you're just going to notice some muscle loss. And that's with me. If I back it off even a little bit, I just reduce in size and strength. It just happens really quick. But then again, I can train really hard and get that back really quick too. So, all right, next you're going to see me doing a little bit of training in the gym, and that'll be pretty much it. That'll be the end of the video. I probably won't do any lead out or anything. So enjoy the training you're going to see. You don't get to see it very often, I know. So enjoy it. I'll try and get some more training videos in if I can. They're just kind of hard to do, but at home it's a bit easier to do. All right, have a great day. We'll see you next video. All right, first things first, I'd like to do some miscellaneous shoulder mobility work for rotator stuff, because at any age you can have problems with shoulders, and this just keeps my shoulders healthy. If you're not sure what this is a heart rate monitor that I wear, and I link it to my iPhone. I can link it to my Apple Watch if I want to, but I generally link it to my iPhone. It shows me my heart rate and stuff like that, what's going on. Alright, so I'm going to basically just do some lightweight. This isn't a heavyweight thing, this is just more of a mobility thing, just to get your shoulders nice and warmed up. Just dumbbells seem to work pretty good for this. Good enough. I'll generally do some stretching because I do feel it in here right now. I got a little bit of a tightness going on. I've had it for a little bit. Doesn't really limit me too much training. I just feel it when I stretch. So anyways, I'll do that on both sides generally, and then I'll start probably with that shoulder exercise. Right, for shoulders this time I'm going to do an upright row about probably 5 sets or so. This is just my second set. I just want to show you at least one set from each exercise that I'm doing. So I like to use this sort of narrow grip. Basically just use the hand, the hand grip, and just progressively keep increasing the weight on my sets. But I think I'm the wrong weight. Didn't put it up yet. We'll count that as 2. Starting with like 16 reps, just at the lighter weights anyways. As I go up I might drop it down to 12. Alright, time for some seated row. Again, a good 5 sets, maybe sometimes even 6 or 5 with a drop set or something. It just depends how it feels. Typically I start out with about anywhere from 12 to 15, 16 reps. I'll drop them down a little bit near the end. Sometimes I'll just do 12s. With the row I usually like to start a little higher. Still I believe that like probably going to do about 15 reps for this weight, and then I'll probably drop down to 12 reps. Alright. If you're not familiar with this machine I'm using, it's the Inspire FT2. It's a functional trainer. And what I like about it, it's got the Smith bar that ties into the weight stacks. It's got all kinds of hook-in points. It's got the adjustable pulleys on the front. I got low hook-in points, high hook-in points. It's really quite versatile. Well, I like to do a couple upper body work parts and then probably throw in a leg exercise if I can. Unless I'm doing like a heavy compound, sometimes I'll get that one out of the way, like if I'm doing squats. Quite often I'll just get that out of the way because it's just the hardest part of the workout. Sometimes I'll do it second. I'll do shoulders or chest first, and then I'll do squats. Because I'm doing extensions and curls, they're not compound movements. They're not nearly as hard. I'll just sort of throw them in between the other body parts to give my upper body a bit of a rest. So I've done basically shoulders and back. Because it's hard to hook this unit up, it's cables and stuff I got to attach. I'm going to do extensions and curls at the same time. But quite often I'll just split those up even between exercises as well. So we'll be doing back-to-back extensions and curls. With this system it hooks right into my weight stack, which is cool. I can also load weight on the top here. The reason I put some weight on here is because it makes it heavier at the top of the exercise. So I find that this the cables alone, it's almost too hard at the bottom, too easy at the top. So by putting weight on here, it makes it harder on the top, and I can sort of average it out. Typically do pretty high rep for extensions, usually at least 20. I just find it works good for me. It's a strong muscle group for me, and a lot of times I'm using pretty much the entire stack when I'm in the gym, so I have to kind of go higher rep. With leg curls, I usually stick with 12 to 15s, just because it seems the curls, the hamstring for me tends to tire a little quicker. Doesn't need as much, doesn't need as higher reps. I don't add any weight to the back of it when I do the curl, just because I find with curls, it's always so much harder at the top. So just to be able to kind of progressively have the same amount of resistance, or it feels like the same amount of resistance, I don't put the plates on this attachment here, I just leave it. And then I just use the weights on the racks here. So that was my third set. I started with reps of 15 and just working down to, or sets, reps of 12 now. So I'll probably do a couple more sets and just keep loading the weight up a bit more, try and hit between 10 and 12 reps. And I'll do about 5 sets in total. All right, one of the close to the last exercises here, we're just going to be doing some chest flies. Basically, I just use my functional trainer cables, and I just have my bench secured to the back so it's not going to move. And again, 5 to 6 sets, maybe a drop set at the end. Start out with about 15 to 16 reps, work my way down maybe to 12 at the end. More of a high rep thing. And then I'm going to be finishing up with a little bit of abs. Two more to go. All right, almost forgot, I got some arms to do before abs. So I'm going to be basically doing a tricep extension, pretty standard stuff, and some single arm curls. So I'm going to be doing them kind of back to back, but then I'll take a little break in between, and then I'll hit them back to back again. So we'll start with triceps. Start a little light here. A little bit light, so I'll have to crack it up a little bit for the next one. But we'll do some curls. I find that type of curls pretty easy on my bicep or in this area here, because I can adjust my hand position, which sometimes makes a difference. All right, the next one I do is for kind of my sides, abs here, obliques and stuff. And it's important how you keep your hips. Keep your hips kind of neutral, don't let them turn too much. You almost want to shoot it out to the front on this side, and then as you go the other way, you shoot the other way. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now I'd be doing this on both sides, but I'll just show you one side. So I'd switch around and hit the other oblique after this one. But I'll give you an idea. So I pop this hip out here, because I just want my upper body to turn, not my lower body. And as I come across, I hit this hip pops out. As I said, I'll do the other side after I finish shooting this. But mainly, it's not so important where your arms, if you have your arms out further, then you're going to have to use lighter weight. If you lock them in here, what's important is that they stay stationary. So they just stay in the same place, and it's the upper body that turns, the lower body that stays still. That's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. See you next time.